Hey, all you Arizona lovers. This is the Finding Arizona podcast, episode number 358. I'm your host, Jose. Thank you so much for listening. Today's guest is the wonderful owners behind Sit Still of Scottsdale, which is a modern children's salon. And we got to sit down and talk to them. And we were very encouraged just because this is our first time getting haircut for Atlas. And we wanted to share that moment with all of you. And we wanted to encourage you as parents and as people who have children to go check this place out. This is one of those places that is specialized for kids under, I believe, like 10, and it's just one of those places. It's fun, it's modern, and it's a cool place to go get your hair cut. On top of that, they have like packages for a cool little like mani-pedi situation. I encourage you guys really to go check this place out. It is fantastic. Atlas, the only thing that discouraged him was just getting wet in the eye, but that's just nothing. And then after that moment, he was so good. He was sitting there enjoying himself, getting a haircut, and he looked fantastic afterwards. If you follow us on social media at Finding Arizona Podcast, you will be able to see some of those photos and follow our social medias, which are connected alongside as parents. That all being said, I just want to say thank you to Bri and thank you to Katie for allowing us to come into their salon and make a mess out of the whole situation, because we just put up all of our stuff and we were just filming. It was crazy, but I am hopefully encouraged to keep continuing to do on-site location interviews, and it's just fantastic. It's wonderful. It's a unique experience. So that being said, we hope you guys stick this one out. This is kind of a little bit of a noisy one. I tried my best to make sure that all the audio is corrected and done right. So but you can't help but have background noise and other situation because Atlas is running around crazy and yelling. But I hope that you guys enjoy yourselves on this one, because the experience of this is so incredible, and I just had a fantastic time there. So that being said, we'll get into a little bit of the business side. You can hear every episode of Finding Arizona Podcast at our website, findingarizonapodcast.com. We make it easy for you guys to connect with us. So social media is under Finding Arizona Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You tell us who you want in next, and we try and make that happen. Last but not least, if you guys want to become super fans, there's places for you to go to do so. We have a newsletter, we have a vlog, we have YouTube. We are everywhere and anywhere you want us to be. We try and make sure that our connection with you is as personable and as fun as possible for you guys to check out our local community. All that being said, we are encouraged to let you guys know that we have gotten an award for Best Podcasts, and there's still more work to be done, but there's also other places doing these voting situations for Best of the Valley, and we hope that you guys continue to vote for us. There's one in particular that I'm excited to do, which is Phoenix Magazine. I just met the editors, and one of the top photographers at a kind of meeting situation and networking situation. That was a lot of fun because I was so encouraged to have them come on the show. I wanted them to show and experience what we have to offer as one of the top podcasts in the Valley, but that is just one of the things that I want you guys to know, that we're so happy that you guys think of us this way, and we're so happy that you guys continue to follow us. We hope that you guys will keep telling us who's out there in the community so that we can share their story. That's what this is all about. It's just to share the stories of who's being the best kind of community member and wants to share their passion and what they love to do. So this is episode number 358 with Sit Still, and this is all the way in Scottsdale. We hope that you guys will continue to share these stories and share with us your community favorites. So 358, Sit Still, Katie, Bri, thank you so much. We will catch you on the next one. Bye. Back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Finding Arizona podcast. As we discussed before, we're sitting here in Sit Still, and we are sitting with the two owners of Sit Still. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves one by one. We're going to start here, and then we're going to move over here. Ready?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I'm Bri, and I'm born and raised in Arizona.
Hi, Bri.
And I'm a mom of two little kids,
Nice.
almost 3 and 6.
Nice.
2 little girls, and I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you.
My name is Katie. I am born and raised in New Jersey. But my husband brought me out here. So I have 2 kids. I have a son who's 10, a daughter who's 7. And yeah, that's about it. We're excited you're here with us.
Thank you. Again, I want to say just a couple of things. When we first walked in here and just realizing how much you guys have in your facility, just in the area around you with modern over here, modern milk over here, and then like the bakery and all the other like salad and you just have a very beautiful, nice environment to be here. And I want to just say kudos to you guys for picking out a slot that's really great. Here's my next, I ask this of everyone who comes in through our doors. What is your origin story? Like, can you give us a little bit of how you chose this spot or how this came to life? We were talking off air about it, but I'd love to get that from your guys' perspective individually too, because your story might be different than Bri's story.
Yeah. So how we got started was Sit Still. Bri and I worked together at a different business.
Yeah.
And we knew the women who started Sit Still. This is a franchise.
Yes.
And so we knew the women who started it. We reached out to them and said, what on earth are you doing? Neither of us are hairstylists. We just, we knew as moms that a place like this was needed and necessary. So anyways, we reached out to them. Originally, Bri and I thought maybe we would do this alongside one another, kind of tackle different areas of the market.
Got it.
And then the pandemic hit,
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, and after, the dust settled with all of that, we decided that we're stronger together. And so that kind of, I'm speaking just for myself. I told you a little bit earlier that like as a mom, I felt like I had nowhere appealing to take my kids to get their hair cut, especially my son. Boy cuts are hard. And either I felt rushed or it didn't feel like a warm, inviting place.
Yeah.
And so when we heard about this opportunity and what Sit Still stands for and, their values and all of it, it just aligned very much with me. I know with Bri also. And then, we just started it in January of 2021. No, 2022.
Wow.
And then we opened in November of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Bri, I'd love to get your perspective of like all of the pandemic stuff and just kind of like making the decision to go ahead and stick together and stay together. What was that like for you?
Yeah. So actually in 2019, I was going to open this just in this parking lot over there. This is when we were going to do it separate.
Okay.
And it was taking a really long time. And I actually had a lease and I was pregnant and I was all of a sudden in January, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be delivering a baby the day that I open this. This is just not. I looked at my husband and he's like, well, you got to follow your heart. So it was a really hard decision, but I had to kind of pull back. A month and a half later, COVID happened. Yeah. It's like, okay, maybe this is for a reason, you know?
Maybe the universe is saying something.
Yeah. I mean, it would have worked out great, but it would have been a little bit more of a challenge.
Absolutely.
Just with closures and all that.
Well, I'm really happy that you guys stuck together and made that decision to make this still a thing, but together, opening it with both of your minds in this.
Yes, and it makes us. It's really nice because our families are priorities, and so it's so nice to know that we have the support of one another. And are able to say, my kids need me today. I need you on, or whatever, vice versa. And so it is nice to have that because ultimately, our families take priority also. So it's a good balance.
Wow. So, for me, I jumped into this with an open heart and just kind of I thought I had something here where it's podcasting and my voice and just asking questions. These are all things that sparked joy in my life. where does the joy spark for you guys when coming into here and seeing all of the kids and seeing all the product, and like, where's the joy come for each of you?
For me, it's just like, I have kind of a background in healthcare, so completely unrelated. But also I love like organizing and creativity and fun stuff. So just like seeing this come to life and, the retail, and then people asking questions and saying, oh, like there's a place, like for us, it just feels good to have created this fun, experience for people. And then also a place they can come and support. A lot of our retail is, really well thought out. It's a lot of women-owned businesses that we purchase from. It's a lot of local people.
Nice.
So for me, that's just fun to like see that part come to life.
Absolutely.
The positive, feedback from the community.
Yeah. How about yourself?
It's the community for me.
Yeah.
I love meeting new people every day. I was a teacher, kindergarten teacher, so I obviously clearly, oh, look at you.
My co-host, ladies and gentlemen, is done with his haircut.
Nice. And that's just it. So like just after they, the goal is for kids to feel really good about themselves. And so I just love like making a big deal of how handsome or beautiful they look. And anyways, but it's the community part for me.
Absolutely.
I love meeting all of these new people and then seeing familiar faces come back 6 weeks later and picking up our conversation exactly where we left off. And so for me, it's been...
It's like reading a book. Like, you don't finish it all the way. You put that bookmark in and you just pick up where you left off, and it's just a joy of like, So as I progress forward into our conversation, one of the things that we typically do is lean on that. The thing that affected all of us was the pandemic. What were some of the hardest challenges through that, and where you guys are now? Do you guys feel like what's the greatest thing that you've learned from this pandemic?
That is a good question, because we obviously put a stop to this during the pandemic. We have...
And it wasn't even it was like prior to the pandemic, but as far as making the decision when to pick it back up, it just, we kind of like wrote it out to see like when the best time would, there's never like a perfect time to open a business.
So learning patience and learning to accept those, nothing's going to be perfect at all.
Absolutely.
That's great.
I would have to agree with that.
So let me ask you this: what are some of the things that your family has said to you in support of this? Like, what are some of the things that they think of this store? My daughter loves it. She's 7 and absolutely loves it and comes to work with me all the time. Awesome.
And is thrilled to tell all of her friends that her mom owns it still. Yes. All of her friends come in. So that has been really fun. Nice. My husband is incredibly supportive. He owns a business as well, but he really let me figure this out on my own. Good. Of course, I go to him all the time for advice, but he really is having me, which I appreciate, is learn through failure or learn through our mistakes. Yes. And so as frustrated as I get that he won't help me sometimes. He
won't give me the answers.
He gives me his opinion, and most of the time I don't even take it. But so anyways, but they have all been super supportive. It's been a huge adjustment. As a full-time stay-at-home mom, to doing this, and still having that mom guilt when we're the last one on the car pickup line or whatever. It is. Yeah. But we're finally at a point to where we can start peeling back a little bit because we have incredible staff. So
as you grow and expand, you let go of those little things, and you can trust that it'll get taken care of. That's really great.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Bri?
Yeah. It's been great. Like, my husband is very supportive as well. Yeah. And, he works full time, and we both were stay-at-home moms, and I still am like a full-time stay-at-home mom. Yeah. Finally, my youngest is in school a couple days a week. Yeah. Until summer and a couple weeks from now. But it's been tricky, like,
maneuvering.
balancing all of that. But it's also been good for my family to just, it's like, okay, mom's going to work. So
Exactly.
good luck.
Pour your own milk.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
learning to
exactly.
be, like, not rely on me so much. Thankfully I'm still able to be there for all the school pickups and drop-offs and, taking them to their activities and still being involved, which I appreciate. But, it's just
I love that.
a lot of late nights
A lot
on
of
my
late
computer
nights.
and
I agree.
falling asleep.
I'll be honest with you. I'm in the same boat where it's like that trap of like, oh man, like he's with me most of the day, but as I slowly start to realize like we started looking for schools. That was the real big thing of like, oh my goodness, he's gonna be in school a couple of days a week, and I'm gonna have to figure something out and like on my own and be on my own for really the first time in a while, like 2 years of like, and even before that, the pandemic where she was pregnant with him, we were inside a lot together too. And so I think one of the things for me is like that guilt of like, oh my goodness, he's going to go and I'm going to feel guilty that I'm not with him or I'm not going to be around. And so one of the things that I've particularly taken fond of or like pride of is like, he and I do bedtime together. Like that's the one thing that I will not let go of is I put him, like I hold him while he's in his last, like drinking milk or something. And then I lay him into bed. I don't care if I'm working or anything like that. I will walk away from my computer. And that is my absolute thing that I have to do because ever since he was born, that's what I've done. And so I hope to continue that until he says, Dad, I'm okay. I can tuck myself. Yeah, I might not be able to hold him by then, but it's like there will come a day where he's like, I'm okay. You can stay at work or like, you don't need to tuck me in. That's going to be a hard day.
Yes, it will.
But yeah, like I agree with you guys. The parenthood and balancing the workload and one of those, it's hard. It's that entrepreneurial lifestyle that we live. It's just like you choose this, and then you also have to balance your family and all your other things of life too. Friendships, social life. I'm not good at that. I'm very, very bad at that. But I like to say that this is my social life. This interaction and the interviews help me get my extrovert energy out. And so I appreciate you guys. So let me ask you this too. Like, as you guys have progressed along and this is an incredible place, are there any opportunities, as you said, like you wanted to try and tackle a little bit of every place around the area? Has there been a conversation about our next spot?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Getting close, good.
We're actually in the process of opening or working on a lease. And
Nice.
So our next location, we hope to be in the Phoenix area.
Awesome.
So
That's going to be great.
yeah, we just figured, why not? Just keep going. Keep the
going.
momentum going.
Yeah.
Have 2 really tiring years. and so we just kept thinking, if the right space opens up, we need to hop on it. Especially in Phoenix, it's a hard area to find some good real estate. So
especially with the market being what it is, as far as like things, have you guys, like, let me ask you this, because you guys are in this space of market of like getting these leases and stuff, what have you seen as far as like commercial real estate and things like that, the conversation behind that? Because it does, from my perspective, it seems like everything's getting picked up and like everything's because we're a growing city.
Yeah. It's hard.
There's way less than I anticipated, especially after COVID. I was like, oh, well, maybe there'll be more. Sadly, businesses had to close. And so I was thinking maybe there'll be more opportunity.
Yeah, more opportunity.
There wasn't really.
No.
Wow. And we kind of fell in love with this area. It's on Scottsdale Road. It's fairly central in Scottsdale. The great co-tenants, Musicology, Modern Milk, just a lot of, Bar 3, a lot of businesses that we love and support. So
friends, essentially.
Yeah, we love them.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's kind of the goal behind the second one too, is finding tenants that fit within our demographic, who we're targeting. And,
I might have a space for you
It's over on 16th Street in Bethany Home by the Lucy's Market. The spot behind it, though, it's like a little enclave.
Yeah.
There's a new kind of like a kid spot called Leah and Luca. It's still being built.
Never heard of it.
Leah, and I think it's Leo and Luca. But yeah, it's kind of a play spot, an indoor play spot for kids. And I think that would be wonderful if you could find a spot around there, because that Bethany Home, 16th Street, it's a really nice neighborhood.
That's something that we really like to do is partner, even if we're not right next door. We partner with so many different local small businesses that are child focused.
Yeah.
You know, we've brought them in here for some of our community free events, and we've been there promoting Sit Still. So it's nice to be around some of those, you know, business owners who own.
Yeah. So one of the things that you guys brought up, and I would love to just kind of really quickly ask about, is your favorite stories about, like, you know, if it's like a kid coming in and just being super glad that they got a haircut, or like your community events, like anything like that. What is something that sticks out in your mind to you guys? I'll go with Bri, and then we'll...
Starting with just our grand opening, you know, we planned this big event, and we really had no way to know, like, is there going to be just our families and a couple friends, or is it going to be like hundreds of people? And it just, like, before it even officially started, there were just like people coming from all over. And we were like, oh my gosh.
And we didn't think that we were going to go through 50 swag bags.
No idea. But it was like just so amazing to see the community like come together and our hard work kind of like
come to life.
It was been super fun.
I love that. That's a great story.
And also probably daily when I'm in here, seeing a little kid get their hair cut, boy, girl. They've all been wonderful, and we've meet people all the time, and so that has been super fun.
I love that. That's a great story.
And also probably daily when I'm in here, seeing a little kid get their hair cut, boy, girl, and then they like check themselves out in the mirror and just look so happy, and I'm like, this is our why.
Exactly. That's I was kind of hoping you were going to say that, because, or someone was going to say it, because that's, I mean, looking at him now, I'm like, you're such a big boy.
I know. So many parents are like, oh my gosh, emotional parents, you know, like, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah. That's funny.
For yourself?
I would say, like a few moments that stick out are, for families who feel like they have nowhere to take their kids to. We have quite a few families who come in here of children with special needs. And the stories that we get from those parents on the phone, a lot of these parents call us prior to the appointment, trying to explain if their child is afraid of noise, or, you know, and tell us all their past experience, and it just breaks my heart knowing that they've left hair salon with half the head finished, you know, because the stylist didn't feel comfortable or the child was super uncomfortable. And so we've really worked hard at creating a space for every single family. It doesn't matter if they love haircuts and hate haircuts, special needs, not special needs, you know, and our stylists have such a huge heart for these families. And so we open our doors early, or you know, we've had our stylists not take their lunch, or they'll take their lunch later because they know, or we know that family needs a really quiet salon. So I think, you know, some of the best moments, you know, we had a front desk staff who was in tears the other night because the mom and dad were so tense, this little, you know, so worried, and the little boy was not excited at all about getting a haircut. I mean, he was beside himself. But he got an adorable haircut, and the mom at the end crying and hugging her front desk staff, you know, and they finally have found a place for their child where they feel welcome and loved. And it doesn't matter if it takes an hour to get their haircut, you know, we're still going to be there, and our stylists are determined to give a great haircut.
I love that. That makes me happy, because again, it's like, my guy seemed like he was cool with it. Like, I have inkling that he's going to continue to live his life out like that. He's comfortable doing stuff. That's how I am. And I'm not too afraid to challenge myself, and I feel like he gets that from me. It's like, I'm not fearless, but like I am optimistic about doing things, especially when it comes to environments like this, where it's like comfortable. So thank you for allowing parents and others to use your facility as, a means to like help, really help themselves. Because some parents do, like, again, I know that, again, you guys have worked with special needs, and that's incredible that never dawned on me. Never ever dawned on me that something like that would come on. So to hear that and to understand that and to empathize with that is truly remarkable to understand. So thank you for allowing yourselves to really work around others and allow them to really step phase and take it on. So I usually ask my ending towards a finishing line here. Look towards the future and put out a goal or a vision for you. I know you guys put out that you're going to try and do another space, but are there any other visions or goals that you guys want to put out into the universe? Maybe our parents can help you with that you want to put out there.
I think our goal is for sure to expand at a, the second one is coming fast. I think our goal is to expand at a reasonable pace. Yes, to where we can still have a healthy work-life balance. And I think we just want to continue to spread so much love and joy into every family that comes in here and create an unforgettable experience where they're excited to come back. So, we just are looking forward to growing. We're growing every day. We see new clients every single day, and then we just look forward to seeing them back, like I said, and putting on the hair 6 weeks, 10 weeks.
We'll definitely be back. Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's going to be. I'm so excited to come back. In a less official capacity.
Yes.
How about you, Bri? Expansion is always kind of like the thing. Let me ask you this in a more personal manner. As you expand and get bigger, what are some of the things that you want to keep in mind? Maybe it's with your family or something. It's like, what's something that you hope that as you guys grow, that still stays the same?
Just the quality and like the experience. We don't want to open too fast where we jeopardize the experience, because that's a huge part of it. Still, it's more than just a haircut or a birthday party. It's like an experience for the whole family. So I think just doing it, growing in a way that we can and the experience, and also still being able to be, moms and wives and friends, and
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys allowing me to come into your space, allow my son to come into your space. But again, I agree. Places like this are necessary. People like you guys are necessary because you guys get it. You guys understand and are willing to make little sacrifices to help others. You guys are very, and you've changed a lot of lives. And just, again, it's like last night, just having those tears. That mother will be so ingratiated to you forever and ever. So, what I hope is that as you guys grow, yes, you do continue to expand. I hope that we can help in that manner. But also on top of that, I hope that our listeners understand that this is really, truly a unique spot for everyone. Not only children, but parents. Again, I hope that everyone comes here, has an opportunity to meet you guys and understand this space. It's really great. And as we close, I want to just say that you guys are just so fantastic, but I also want to wish you guys luck. Wish you all the luck in the world, because that's what we all need. It's just a little bit of luck, and hopefully we'll continue our journeys together.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Yes.
Is there anything that you guys, because I do leave this open-ended, part for you guys to any events, anything coming up that you guys want to promote. This is the promotional part. And let everyone know where they can find you online, your phone number, address, everything. This is the last bit, so I'm going to let either one of you take control.
I'll start. Just so beyond haircuts, we also, we have fun retail. So if people want a gift for a birthday party,
There's a lot of wonderful local gifts.
we'd be happy to help, curate something. We also do a lot of birthday parties, which is fun. Or, maybe it's just a BFF, package where they get their nails painted and,
Nice, yes.
just have a day to kind of pamper them. So that's another part of our business.
Very cool. I did not know that, so I'm really great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I love it.
And then also, just to add to what Bri said, we have lots of different community events that we post on our social media page. So you can find us at Still Kids Scottsdale, I believe. And then, we do random pop-ups of braid classes. So many parents want to learn braids, So we do a lot of different events. So if you would like to stay updated, I would say social media is our best way to find out. And we're located on Scottsdale Road and Thunderbird, right next to Mountain Grocers. And I don't have a phone number.
I don't have it memorized either.
That's why Google exists.
Google us, yes.
That is why Google exists.
Yes.
So before we go, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we do our little outro here for ourselves, and then you can find us at findingarizonapodcast.com. We make it easy for you guys to find us on social media. That's Finding Arizona Podcast under everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You let us know who you want next, and we try and make that happen. And as always, we say kisses, hugs, and belly rubs to our four-legged friends. We're not in a place where there's four-legged friends, but we always say that at the end of our podcast. So thank you both for coming on the show, and we will catch everyone on the next one.
Thank you. All right.